Yo, shout out to everybody rocking with us. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. Happy Wednesday to you here in the Midwest. Another hot and hazy day, stuck in the middle of a heat wave. Yay. Remember, keep your pets inside the house. Also, hit the subscribe. I'm looking at these numbers and it's ridiculous. I got more shares than I have subscribers. Come on, y'all. Y'all killing the kid. You're killing me, Smalls. Which has prompted us to make this public service announcement. Roll a spot. Thief, don't be a thief. Hit the subscribe. If you're sharing my show, then I know you a hoe. Without hit the subscribe. Hit the subscribe. Thieving ass dude. Hit the subscribe. Hit the subscribe. Sponsored by Big Bird. That's hilarious. All right, man. Back to business. A busy day here in the pit, aka App Stupid. Couple of stories on tap today. Magic Johnson, he heard the words Anthony Edwards said, and Magic wants some smoke. He on that Chris Brown time. Who won't smoke with me? Who won't smoke with me? Find out what Magic said as a rebuttal. Then you got Brandon Faison. He is suing the North Carolina Board of Education because they are prohibiting him from endorsement deals. And it has something to do with public school. So make sure that you all stick to or that one. Monsters of the Midway, are they back? Chicago playing no games. Yeah, Chicago playing no games. The recent acquisitions on Friday and over the weekend, they got me thinking that the Bears are going to be a 9-win team this year. Which ain't bad. It's not bad. And you got Mr. Deron Bland. He is actually on the mend. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks with a stress fracture in his foot. So many more stories that needs to come. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. Give me a quick 20 and we'll hop right into it. Yes, Taco Bell, Live Moz, Taco Bell. Order online, download the app, or visit the good folks at your local Taco Bell. Taco Bell, Live Moz. So if you've been living in a cave or under a rock, or you just don't really give a damn about sports, some days I'm starting to feel like that myself. Anthony Edwards was approached by the Wall Street Journal, and he was asked a question about the guys of yesteryear in the NBA. And Anthony Edwards had made the comment that Michael Jordan is the only guy back then who had skill. And that got Magic Johnson's ears up. Yeah. Irv was popping the pistol. Not gonna hold you. Irv heard that and he came at him. I'm like, wow. Now, when I heard that, like I said, I don't really get into the back and forth because to me, that's petty. So when I heard how Anthony Edwards felt, I was like, that's just indicative of two things. Number one, Michael Jordan had a great marketing machine. The Like Mike, the Gatorade commercial, the Wheaties, the Hanes, the hot dogs. This dude was selling everything from shoes to underwear to hot dogs. And pretty much you couldn't do anything about it. So kudos to him, because through that marketing apparatus, it really covered up the fact that Michael Jordan is a gigantic asshole. Yeah. All my people from the 2000 All-Star game in Atlanta on Haverston's at Redan Road, like I said, is audio files. We can take it there. But allegedly, to give yourself, you don't want to be sued, allegedly. But then it also points to something that I found that was profound, is the arrogance of these young players. The arrogance and ignorance that they don't study their craft like they should. Because nothing happens in a vacuum. And so when Magic heard that, oh, Magic got at it. Magic said, I never respond to anybody who hasn't won a championship. Mic drop. Mic drop. I don't respond to nobody who ain't won a championship. Yeah, Mr. Magic, he was playing no games with these young dudes. Nor should he. Oh, Magic wasn't done. He didn't win a college championship. Oh, it's hurting. It's hurting. Magic ain't playing. Magic wants some of that chop suey right now. Oh my God. Magic he got hot ones. He was like, I don't even know if he won a high school championship. Ooh, he's starting to cut now. Irv ain't playing no games. But it was some truth in what Magic was saying. Anthony Edwards hadn't won a college championship. And I only bring that up because, okay, I'm going to park this car and I'm going to go ahead and spin the block. So back in the good old 90s, when it was guys who were the two-time player of the year in college, they won a championship and they were not, you couldn't go ahead and root against it. And I always bring this up when people talk about Shaq and Christian Laettner. At that time in 1992, Christian Laettner was the more established. He was the more dominant player in college from a collegiate standpoint because he had won a back-to-back NCAA championship. He had won the player of the year multiple times. He was the ACC MVP. People look at Shaq and see what Shaq was able to do with him and Kobe and how his NBA career turned out. But at that moment in time, if you were going to beat the college player of the year like a Shane Battier or a Carlos Boozer and Duke, you were going to have to take it from them. Eldon Brand, you were going to have to take it from those guys. And that doesn't exist now. Because usually it was you stayed a max of 3 years to try and get to the top to win that NCAA tournament, that elusive title. And if you got there, fine. If you didn't, then you went on to the pros and you had success. And I felt like it taught guys how to be very good role players and keep a job in the league, because you could be a workman. Even though you're not a superstar, you can be a workman. In this current climate we have now, these kids are jumping so fast, you don't really know what they can do. So it's unfair to label them a bust, because if I'm playing somewhere for 6 months, I really haven't dominated the conference. I really haven't dominated in the tournament. I'm not going to win an NCAA championship. I'm just going to the NBA. Oh, well, if you win an NBA title, so what? You're not going to be the star. You're going to be a piece on a team. That's the current climate of the NBA. So I see it from where Magic is and what he is saying, like, well, wait a minute. You didn't even win anything in college. You ain't won an NBA title, let alone a college title. How are you going to sit up here and talk about skill? Because by that own argument, you don't have any. Yo, give me a quick 20 from a rap album we promoting this month. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot.
I know you ain't gonna believe this, but I'm promoting another rap album this month. Your boy Big Vern. We got Little Monsters in stores now. Make sure you get your copy where you legally consume music on Google Play, Apple Music, or Spotify. Little Monsters in stores now. My boy Eron and Corey. Shout outs to my boy Eron. Little Monsters 1.5. Get it where you legally consume music. That's local. Shout out to the local rappers who've been hitting me up to put them on and promote their product, and they liking the show and subscribing. Shout out to them. But back to Magic, because Magic was on him, boy. Magic was on that ass. And he was right. Edwards didn't win a championship in Georgia either. He only played for a year. Now, I didn't like the fact that Jasmine Winbush, who wrote the article out of CBS Sports, she tried to say, oh, yeah, it was because of COVID. He wasn't going to stay no way. So stop that. We're not going to go ahead and give that up. Come on now. In plain English, what the hell are you talking about, dude? You let the Wall Street Journal get you out here in these streets pump faking.
And now you out here copping pleas. Because the OGs, they was son and youngin'. The OGs was out there with some words for him. And he copping pleas, saying, I gotta admit, I ain't gonna be able to speak on those eras as much because I didn't really watch basketball from back then. He's right about that. So as much as he's copping a plea, he should have known he was on a hot mic because number one, you were born in 2001. Jordan's career never mattered past 1998. I'm sorry, get over it. We're adults. We can have this conversation. Michael Jordan's career never mattered past 1998. Yeah, he was an afterthought. He was gone. And so you wasn't born until 2001. That's when he was on his way out. He was on his last legs. It was the sympathy claps, and people gave him the sympathy, yeah, high five, go sell Gatorade, go golf somewhere, get your underwear collection up. Stop cheating on your wife. I'm sorry. Allegedly. But by the time that he's able to follow basketball, you would tack 6 years onto that. 6 years would have been 2007. So in essence, Anthony Edwards, his Michael Jordan is LeBron James. But he felt like he had to throw a political answer out there when he was asked about the guys of yesteryear. And sometimes it's good to just look at somebody and say, what do you think? Because obviously you're asking me this question for controversy. And now that the OGs is out here riding on him, now he out here copping pleas. Oh, man. Now, Edwards, he still doesn't believe Jordan can guard him, which is a total contradiction because you can't say in one breath that guy right there, he's got all the skill from back in the day. He's got more skill than any of these other guys. But then he can turn around and sit here and say he can't guard me. So which Jordan are we talking about? Are we talking about 84, 85 Mike, 86? Is that what Michael Jordan we're talking about? Because I know on this page we dropped the story where he won a fraudulent defensive player of the year award because the guy who spilled the beans on him was saying how the NBA used to cook the books back then. So what version of Mike are we talking about? Are we talking about 2001 Mike? Because yeah, we saw it in live time. He couldn't keep up with Kobe Bryant. And then you have the basketball purist and the pugilism of basketball that'll come out and say Kobe Bryant didn't do anything but steal Michael Jordan's moves. But if success leaves clues, you figure it out. Isaiah Thomas, he wants some of that smoke too. I'm talking about the real Isaiah Thomas, not homie who played at Washington and then played at the Celtics. I'm talking bad boys. I'm talking Zeke, the one and only, the real deal. He wants some smoke. Yeah, he said propaganda works, so be careful what you choose to believe, end quote. Yeah. And for people who really know, in the know, Isaiah Thomas is that dude. I'm sorry. He had people still on the ground in Chicago, where he from. And if he want to make you stay uncomfortable, he can. If he want to make you stay uncomfortable, he can. But he's moved on. He's not even in that frame of mind, but he's a real one. And he's telling you that the propaganda that they pushing on this Michael Jordan stuff is, hey, man, I was around in that era. Now beat that same dude you saying he's skilled in his best years. Because you gotta go ahead and call it for what it is. Michael Jordan didn't beat Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He never even got that far. He lost to the Celtics and he lost to the Pistons. By the time he beat the Pistons, Larry Bird was actually on his last legs. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was pretty much out of the game. And so he beat Magic and Vlade Divac. And after that, Magic, the AIDS thing, it was never the same. And so you got to look at who he won those titles on. Gary Payton, Sean Kemp. He won those titles on the Trailblazers, the older Clyde Drexler, Terry Porter, Jerome Kersey. Those guys. Come on now. I mean, we just being real. We having a real basketball conversation. Don't throw rocks and hide your hands, because I'm just sitting here. Everything I'm saying is actually true. You can go look it up. And that's what he's saying. Isaiah's saying that, look, that propaganda, you got to watch out. Be careful what you feed your mind. In plain English, what the hell you talking about, dude? You let the Wall Street Journal get you all caught up out here in these streets. Now, I won't go as far as to say Anthony Edwards is a player who can't play in the NBA of yesteryear. I'm never going to say that. I'm not complaining about anything that he said. But what I am saying, if you're complaining that you're getting fouled in the old NBA, they didn't call foul for some of the stuff that you're seeing today. If you were going to do all of that dunking and all of that showboating, they were going to make sure you paid a price coming down that lane. That's when hand checking was a thing, when a guy could literally be strong enough to grab you by your waist and guide you where he wanted you to go. And to play through that physicality and come through that, I don't think these young guys have seen anything like that. Even on the AAU circuit, they don't even call fouls. And it's a wise investment for people who are in the coaching profession, or you're teaching kids basketball. You don't call foul in practice, because you're teaching them, hey, look, when you go other places and it gets physical and you have to play through that, this is the mindset that you need. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to come of this. I hope Anthony Edwards is going to learn from this. I hope he's got somebody in his circle who knows Magic and who knows Isaiah, so he can go and make that right. Because he's got to have an OG in his corner, at least his father or somebody, to be like, look here, bro. Whenever they put the mic in front of your face, you don't have to give them no kind of, you don't have to entertain it. You don't have to give them more traction just by saying some idiotic dumb shit. But I could have it wrong. Who knows? Let me know something. Is Anthony Edwards justified in his critique of the old NBA, or is he out of his damn mind? This is Big Vern, that stupid.